This is Fast Eddie's appliance repair. We're out here in Sapulpa, Oklahoma. We have an Easy Track Z445 John Deere zero turn. The customer's already removed the deck. We're going to do some maintenance on it. He wants a oil change, air filter changed, greasy inserts, fuel filter. We're also going to change the blades here. I've already got the first one done. Customer actually already removed the deck for us. Had it already apart before he got out here. But we're going to go ahead and change these blades. I got this first one changed already. Okay. We're going to put these nice mulch blades on there. There's the originals. They obviously needed changed. So we're going to break these loose and share with you what kind of tools we're going to need to do this. Good old breakover bar. And that is an 18 deep well on there. 18 to get that nut loose for you. I'm going to hand it to my camera person here and let her take care of it. We'll go ahead and chop these up. You get your piece of wood, chop that blade. No reason to work harder than you need to. Get that breakover bar on there. Got your wood, got it chopped. This thing is easy. See that one finger? Okay. Get that 1/2 turn. Put it on a ratchet. And my ratchet's going to give me a hard time. I don't know why this one wants to hang up. It seems like it's always in 1/2 inches that want to back up on you. Got it loose. Do another one here. Now when you put this on, you want your blade to be at the lowest point. Okay? So it's going to face, it means how this is upside down, the blade is going to face me, okay? Because you want the lift for it, you want it to face, the lift side faces the deck, okay? Because you want, when it cuts the grass, you want it to kick it up inside, not down towards the ground, okay? Take our chalk, put it on the opposite side. Down. Now when I tighten these, I don't have to have it, when you tighten these up, you don't have to have it tight like you had it when you had to have this breakover bar. You only had to have it tight, say for instance, like you notice when I was tightening that, all I did is use it about as tight as I could get it with the ratchet. The reason why we have to use this, we have to take and break the tension of the bolts from being stuck there, okay? We don't have to break loose we're not loosening it at the tension of the bolt. How do I say that? Without the tension of the bolt, just being there, we have to break loose the tension of the bolt with it being stuck there, okay? You gotta think this thing's gotten heat to it, it's gotten corrosion to it. It wants to stay in that spot. It don't want to come loose. It don't want to twist. It wants to stay right there. So then that's why we use a breakover bar And that's why when we tighten it up, it's not as tight, it don't feel as tight as whenever you break it loose. I know that we probably should be torquing these down, but I don't know the exact spec on them. And if you were you want to catch me on that, you could probably, look that up if you wanted to make sure that these torque spec'd. I'm sure that there's a spec out there somewhere on Google, but I'm not going to worry about torque spec'ing these. I'm pretty comfortable with what I'm doing to tighten them. I don't feel that they're going to come loose. If you have any doubts, by all means, get you a torque wrench. Look up your torque setting. I'm sure you can find it. You can look up your model on Google. I've seen that there was plenty of information on the tear down and the maintenance of this, manuals. So I'm sure that there's actually a torque spec for this if you have any kind of doubts. Gonna get this last one. Again, work smart, not hard. Get that piece of wood in there, man. Get your long breakover bar. See, and you notice I make sure I'm not even using that ratchet. Because if I was to use that ratchet, man, I'd be hard working it with that ratchet, trying to get this thing loose. The customer's actually removed the mulch kit. He has a big yard and he doesn't want to worry about having the mulch kit in there anymore. I think he feels like it's the amount of grass he's got is too much for the kit, so I think he's wanting it removed to help disperse some of that grass and get it out of there. I think once we clean it out too, I think it's going to help a lot of it. See how hard this stuff is. So it's pretty hard. I think we're going to try that. I think we're going to try something here today. Okay. I don't know if it's a wives' tale or what, but they say that you're supposed to, when we do this, you need your blades to be, I think, opposite of each other. I'm just going to show proof of something here. There's no contact point. So I don't know if it's a wives' tale or what, and considering it's belt drive, the belt is not, if that really mattered, you wouldn't have a drive with a belt that would, without no teeth, no gearing, no nothing to make it where it comes out of sync. So I think that's a wives' tale on that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go and follow the rules on that and what people say, but I'm going to say that I don't necessarily believe in that. There's just no way for that to stay in sync. without having an actual, you know, gearing, per se. Just say that they have to have teeth so that it stays in one spot without movement. A belt without teeth is made to slip and change. So for this to stay like this would be impossible on a belt that doesn't have teeth. This is going to have to be taken out. We can't leave any of that. That right there is a no-go. So, I need to clean all this out here. We're going to go ahead and pause here for a minute, and I'm going to get all this cleaned out. We'll start cleaning it out, and I'm going to set up another tool, and come right back.
There you
go. Okay. Well, we want to stop here and get some tools rounded up. Grease gun. I'll go to Harbor Freight to get that. I know people talk bad about Harbor Freight, but here's my thought on this, okay? I'm here to do a job, okay? If Harbor Freight is going to supply a tool to me cheaper than somebody else, I'm going to have to go ahead and get it because I'm here to make money. This is what I'm here for. If I can get a tool cheaper somewhere else, I know it's not some of the stuff they say, I don't know. I've heard American made, it's Chinese stuff. My own father tells me that it's Chinese stuff, don't buy it. And I said, well, 90% of a lot of stuff that we're buying right now is Chinese made. The TV that he's got in his living room is Chinese made, and he didn't complain about buying that. I would like to see more American made stuff, and I'm planning, at some point in my career, I would like to have American made tools. But right now, at this current juncture, I think that a lot of times we're going to have to go and get things from places that, you know, maybe don't have the American-made stuff. I know a lot of times I buy on eBay that's I'll buy Chinese or, you know, from Hong Kong or something like that, and kind of just, you know, go on because it's $1 versus, you know, $20, you know, and difference is I'm bottom line right now, especially at the lower point, you know. So enough about that. This thing kind of looks janky a little bit.
As you just sat and talked up Harbor Freight.
Well, I'm not talking them up, and I'm not talking them down either. I'm saying that I think it's an irrelevant fight to say that just because of where some of the stuff is made from is the reason to not buy there. I think it's a kind of the wrong way to look at it in some cases. I don't think it's going to make the difference. You got it going?
Mm-hmm.
I say all that, and I'm having trouble getting this line on here. They don't sell the line with this. They give you a hard tube, and we need flexible. So you gotta have tools that work for us, even if you have to make changes to them. That's good. Yeah, hard tube. Need plastic tube. Just gonna get that hand tight for now. I ain't too worried about it. Okay. Now we can grease the inserts as we go along on this thing.
You're gonna have to cut them. Guess we better prime it first. There we are. Slightly confused.
Just a little bit.
Still want to talk up Harbor Freight?
Well, I'm not trying to talk them up. Like I said, I think that, you need to, use it your own, will. But the thing is, though, I mean, come on. This thing doesn't work. I can go take it back. It's not that they don't stand behind it. It's that I guess it leaves you dead on Sunday. Okay. There we go. Let's get mean with it. There we go. I just didn't talk its language yet. I'm sure these things have been long times they've ever been lubricated. I like old Louis Rossman. The reason why we don't take many cuts on this stuff is it's about running. You don't want to take the time on it, you know. Of course, sometimes you just gotta fast forward. I like old Louis Rossman. Very, very smart man right there. I'm gonna break all this up, and then once I break all this up, we can just tilt it and dump all this dirt off of it. Just because I don't have a scraper with me doesn't mean I shouldn't clean it. That's what I'm going to say. Clean all this stuff. It all ablates moisture on top of the bearings and such. And that moisture will obviously make the bearing rust prematurely, and then you got the failure. So not necessary. Not necessary. Let's see here. Now I'm looking for loop joints on all these. I don't think this one's got one. Of course, I could be wrong, but I can't find it. I don't think that one has one. This one either. Nope, that one. the other deal is 90% of the time, because I'm in and out of houses all the time, I lose tools. So a cheap tool that it doesn't matter if I lose it, you know, is the other thing. So I am honestly forgetful, which I hope that's just humanity and not just me. So part of me buys the cheap stuff rather than going buying something that won't break like a Snap-on, which I'd love to have Snap-on, trust me. But that's kind of why I don't purchase Snap-on. I think if I had a field where I was stationary, I don't think that it would be as of a big deal for me to decide to purchase from, let's say, Harbor Freight. You can go ahead and just get up there and sit down. If you get that, move all that stuff out of your way, you can just sit down there. Depends on how the nuts on the other side, isn't it? Ooh. Apart. That's in there pretty good. I have mixed emotions about these. In one case, you have a spot where you just have a pull that causes you to pull the dirt and the grass, because that thing just holds it. It just holds it. You can't do anything away with it. It sits there, it laps on top of the bearing, and it makes me wonder, is it really that good of an idea whenever you're just causing it to keep dirt on top of it? It doesn't make it a very cleanable place. On the other hand, it's there to keep things from impacting it. So it's kind of catch-22 on that. You pick your poison. You want something that's going to cause something to fail, or do you want something that makes it safe, so that when something comes in contact with it, which I imagine on this zero turn, this is a step point. It's possible to step in this spot, so I can see, where you want some sort of protection. It looks like these they're just 3 nuts, so we shouldn't have to have like a thing to keep these things held while we turn them Screws on top. Looks like they're just a little long-winded. Magnet bowl. I don't always use it, but I always love them whenever I can. Really not trying to push Harbor Freight. I know it sounds like a Harbor Freight commercial here. I just had to speak on it because I know someone is going to say something. Well, he's using Harbor Freight. Well, he's not. You know, I don't know, less respectful situation. I just want to get my mind set before someone else has something to say. Now see all this stuff that's up underneath these pulleys? Man, that's not good. Just like sitting there in moisture. Saying, hey, I want to go wet. Bad bearings. Over time, it's going to hurt you. Keep them bearings dry. Not to mention, you know, once you do get them wet, that's grit. You know? So once you do finally, you know, once it does finally, you know, permanent seal, you know, I know I'm not pronouncing that right. Permeate the seal.
He got his education in Collinsville.
I speak Okie fluently. Okay. It's all loose. I think that's about it there. One of these days I'll have an air compressor with me on things like this. But currently we do not. I don't have a place to have one to carry with me.
You still have dirt up around that pulley.
What?
That one on the far end, where you just put the.
Yeah, I'll fix it in a second.
No.
This one's probably going to have to let it be on there where I want it, so I get it right. I'm going to say that that's how that goes. Keep in mind I didn't take this loose. Okay. Well, that's better than what it was. A lot better. I want to grease these bearings a little bit more. I don't think they're quite greasy. things are dry. Just airing the line. I'm guessing. I think it seemed like I've had one do this to me before. I think it's just airing the line. You get an air bubble in there, and it's just once it gets in there, don't want to move. There we go. Yep, I think it's just airing lines. Hear that popping? Yeah, there we go.
I am now.
Okay. So now we got this all lubricated. We got it cleaned up to a reasonable, point. I would like to leave this off, but I don't know what the customer thinks about that, so we're going to put it back on. Normally I put the tip on my drill gun and I have these things just spun right in, but my last service call, my drill gun decided to go dead. I got lithium batteries in it, so what happens is I run it for a month without having to charge the thing, and then it decides, today's the day I'm going to die on it. And then my other batteries at home on the charger, or it's just sitting at home, or, who knows. But nonetheless, I'm working with a dead battery, and we're out here, and that's in Tulsa, and we're in St. Paul, so the dead battery and drill gun's what we get. I say if that's the worst thing that happened to me today, I can live with that. So before we put that deck back on, we want to make sure we get all the places we need to lubricate on this thing. There's a few spots here. So right underneath this. Oh, it was right on top here. Well, I guess there is no lubrication on this one. That's odd. Yeah, there's no lubrication on this bad boy. See what there is on the wheels. No lubrication on the wheels either on this model. This is a Z445, and I don't think there's any lubrication spots on the front. So I think that's it for the grease. Goodbye, grease. Okay, so now we got the deck still off. Okay, I think it just makes it easier with it off at this point. What we're gonna do is we're gonna slide our oil pan back here. Okay, in case we drop any fuel off. We're gonna change the fuel filter first. Got our box here. LG 249. Our air filter. Oil filter. Oil. Fuel filter. Spark plugs. So, first things first, let's go do the fuel filter. Get in here and watch real close. So I took some needle nose, took my hose clamp loose. I'm gonna twist, okay? So I twisted, twist back, and it's loose, okay? Notice I'm not really leaking anything, okay? Put your new one in, okay? Put your hose clamp back on. I'm gonna try to catch the same spots in that hose clamp and that hose as what was left. Okay? That's how you make a good seal on what's already been there. Not to cut nothing back. Okay, so now I'm putting this right here. Okay. I'm taking this guy. Now here's where we get a little bit of fuel. I'm running it back. I'm gonna twist it back. Like that. Twist one way. Twist back the other. Pull. Okay. Now I have my oil pan underneath this thing, okay? So now drop that in your box. The bottom there. Slide on your new guy. There it is. Same spot it was in before. Now there's the fuel filter. Got it? Next thing is we got the air filter. Unscrewed. Pretty simple deal. Pull up. If you have any kind of leaves or anything like that, you would dust them away at this point. We don't. We're in Oklahoma. Hear them guns?
Sounds like Creek County to me.
Okay. Really, really simple. Trash. Put your top back on. Easy stuff. Somebody's out having fun. Hold my bird and watch this.
Coyote hunting, maybe. I mean, just shooting trees, probably.
Yeah, probably just shooting. You don't have to have a reason to shoot a gun.
Not in Oklahoma.
Okay, down here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna loosen up this dipstick. Okay. We're gonna move our pan right along this right here. Okay. Let her drain. Normally I like to let it warm up and run and such. With this particular situation, I think it's best, since we have it all apart, or it was already apart when we got here, we're just gonna let it do it without that. Take longer to drain out, I know. And the next thing, I was gonna try it with my hand. While we're letting that drain, we'll go ahead and get this bad boy loose. Ooh, come on now. That thing, boy, don't want to move, does it? There it goes. Now I wish I'd have had some car. Huh? Okay. Well, ran out of space on the SD card. I guess we're going to have a bigger SD card. Reminder to self. Need 64 gig card. Or even 128 maybe. I don't know what you got on your finger there.
Dirt. Oil. Who knows?
Starting to really wish that I had ran this thing first. Because that is just running out really slow. Okay, note to everyone, don't do as I do, do as I say. Run your motor before you drain your oil. This is proof right here why you should do that. Normally, this should have been drained and done. It shouldn't take this long to drain out that oil. It's just got probably a puddle inside there that it's just going to sit there and drain for a while. Not only that, it would have shook up all the sediment and such. So get fresh in the, fresh in there.
Where'd you get your oil pan from since you're not pushing anybody?
I'm not saying no more names. It says it on the bottle if you see it.
Not pushing Harbor Freight at all.
I'm not pushing, no. I'm not trying to. Well, I'm not going to talk bad about him either.
Let's talk about these gunshots then.
They're getting a little closer, ain't they?
Those Democrats aren't going to like this video. Gun laws and whatnot.
Hey now, we're not trying to be politicians. We're not politicians here. She's trying to be all political over here. You guys hear that?
I was in fear for my life.
You better not be saying that stuff right now. You realize this is going on YouTube, right? You just said that, and this is going on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware. I'm aware. There's no shame in my game.
And I think the kind of trick of this, if you guys are technicians and we're thinking about doing this, going and running and actually doing maintenance on, say, zero turns and stuff like that, because I'm kind of just starting to get into it myself, and I think there's good money in it for the zero turns, not so much the riders. Of course, I'm sure there's money in that too, but. You go out and you maintenance it, you make sure the tires are aired up, you level your deck, you oil all the oil places, you make sure that there's no leaks, and you go out there and you do a clean job. You don't want to leave oil on the bottom, on the floors. And one of the ways that we're going to take this with us, because we got to take our oil with us. So one of the ways you do that is you get a container that actually seals up, and then on top of that, okay, you wipe. Of course, you put all your seals on. You wipe off the bottle, make sure it's wiped up, and then you put it in the trash bag. Okay. My first thought was I may need a trash bag for this, but to keep their floor from getting messed up, because what I would have done is I'd laid a trash bag down underneath the container here. Okay. And then what I would have done is I would have pulled the trash bag inside out on top of the container. And that way, you wouldn't have had to have no spillage. But I'm pretty comfortable here in saying that I'm not going to get anything anywhere to hurt anybody's feelings, so I think we're all right. If you use a drop cloth, okay, I'm hearing my dad in my head, grab a drop cloth. Drop cloth, I would worry that it would leak through. I mean, you're talking about straight motor oil, you know, on top of it. I would think that it would leach. You got that?
It's sitting on the mower. It's a lot more steady than my hand is right now.
Okay. All right, then. I think we're going to cut a little bit here. All right. I think we're down to a drip. I'll check the dipstick, make sure it was dry. So I think we're good to go. I think we're done with this. So we'll put our cap back on here. Get it tight. We'll go ahead. Oil. If you notice, I already started wiping up around the area right here where the oil started, where we had it come down. I've already started wiping this stuff up.
What's all that on the floor?
Oh no! Where'd it come from? Oh no! Where did this come from? Oh, video on. This is why you use the bag under the container. Okay, that right there. I bought a brand new container today, just for this job, and go to use it, obviously, and find out that it's got a hole somewhere in it, which is kind of disheartening.
Where'd that come from?
That came from Harbor Freight. Louis Rossman's going to point and laugh at me today. All I can do is laugh. Oh man, it's a bad deal. This is a customer's garage, and the floor looked immaculate before I doused it with oil here. So we're going to have to figure out a way to clean it up, some kitty litter, not bring in a pressure washer. Not a very good situation to be in. Again, use the bag underneath the deal, so when you see something like this, you can stop it and don't do what I did. Don't do as I do as I say, okay?
It's funny, I can see my reflection in it.
So I'm gonna have to clean this up. What I want to do is go ahead and finish the job. I don't want to spread this around. I want to clean it up where it sits. Which we'll get to that in a minute. Let's just go ahead and finish what we're doing. And now I notice people take that seal and they just lubricate the seal. I pull that seal out. Can you see that good there? Mm-hmm. I always pull that seal out and lubricate the seal, the whole seal, not just the one side that touches the motor. You got to think you can bind both sides. Not saying it would leak like that, but I've always just done it that way. I do have to say, you get what you pay for on some things. But I'm also gonna say it like this: who has a really good drain pan that you know is reliable on the caps and everything? I've bought them from AutoZone and stuff like that, and none of them are reliable to that point. Which, saying that, like I said, I should have did the right
Shouldn't have been
thing.
pushing Harbor Bay or Harbor Freight.
I should have. That's good. I don't like using the pliers on that, on the new one, to tighten it. I don't think it needs to be that tight. I think it's just good hand tight is good. You know, a good solid hand tight is going to take care of it. Every car I've ever done, that's all I've ever done, is just a good hand tight. You know, good to go. I've never had one blow out or anything yet, so. But this one's proven to be my nemesis so far, so we're gonna, you know, see if we have to go round and round and we're just gonna get fixed or what. Okay, so there's the oil. We ran the oil out, we got the cap on, we got oil all over the place, and we're going to clean it up. I'm going to say this much for Harbor Freight. At least they give you something kind of similar to wool, though. Give me some more ads. Grab me some more ads.
That's still recording.
Go ahead, keep going. Give me some more ads.
There is no more.
Oh, over here.
Oh,
Look right there.
use that too. After the oil fiasco,
We cleaned up the oil. Use a funnel, put your oil in it, okay? I start with 1.25 quarts of oil, okay? We want to go ahead and turn it over, let it run, then we'll check it again, add as needed. Okay guys, I want to point out something on these dipsticks, okay? So don't be a dipstick. But if you have a full mark and you have an add mark, okay? What that means is you don't have to get your oil to this point for it to be full, okay? This, the hash marks, is the full area, okay? It's not, you don't have to have it, you don't have to have it here for a motor to be full of oil, okay? As long as you're not below this line, okay, you are full, okay? At below this line, you have to add oil, okay? So right in this area in between is the optimum spot. If you're up here, okay, you're looking at more, you know, pressure build in your crankcase, blowout seals, rings, that kind of stuff. It's not a good thing, okay? You don't want to be above full, okay? So if you're pushing it to that line, you don't need to be there. You really just don't need to be. You don't need to be here, okay? You need to be here, okay? Strive for this, okay, the midpoint, and if you get above, okay. Because what's happening is people are striving for this point and getting above it, and that's bad no-no. That's where you start damaging your motors, okay? Strive for the middle point, and if you get above, it's okay, okay? Don't get above that mark. And if you fall below this mark, of course you want to bring it up. That's how that works. Right now, I don't want to really check the oil. Okay, I went ahead and added my 1 1/4 quarts. Okay, and then we're gonna. I guess I can go ahead and check it, make sure that it actually registers on the dipstick. Okay, just as I thought, it's above full with the 1 1/4 quarts without it being ran. What that means is that you got the oil filter that's going to take up some oil, and it's going to take that level down. Once it runs that and it fills up all the spots, it's going to actually have more oil dispersed in it and have less on the dipstick. So we want to run the motor before we really bother to check that. And by all means, if you add that oil, okay, and your motor's above full, stop and drain it. You don't have to drain it all, but drain a portion and then recheck. Okay, if you've ran your motor for a little bit, you got your oil warm, you got all the pressure, you built pressure in the motor, and then you stop the motor and you check your oil, and you're still full, above full, drain some of that oil off. You will blow your motor. No questions asked. I've noticed people would complain that they have oil squirting out the carburetor, that kind of stuff. That's what leads to that. Is over oil. Over oil, under oil, both will lead to that situation. That's when you're blowing stuff out, man. It's just you can't do that. You can't. But anyway, spark plugs, pretty simple. On the back side, okay, you're gonna have to put the plug, the socket on before you put the ratchet on. Okay, I know I'm using 1/2" stuff. It's what I had and what I had here. I had it with me for the deck, so I'm just gonna use this for the whole thing. But I use you put the socket on first, then the ratchet. Okay, take it loose, pull off the take the ratchet off, unscrew your plug the rest of the way, and so on and so forth. I think we're going to cut for the moment. We're going to start running through some stuff here. I think we spend a little bit of time on this video. What I plan on doing is maybe spend a little bit more time on the plugs and the rest of this the next time. So if you have any questions there, I guess I'll be happy to answer them. If on the next time we do the video, what I'll probably do is take less time on the other stuff and then more time on the stuff that I miss. So we're gonna just cut in and out, show you the rest of the way putting this thing back together. I think we're pretty much done. I'm gonna put the plug wires back on. I won't show you checking the oil because I think we've done enough over that. Thank you. We'll come back. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we went ahead. We just got everything done here. Okay, I'll go over everything real quick. Okay, we went ahead, cleaned the, took all the chunks out from underneath the deck. Cleaned that all out. Went ahead and got the panel back on. Got the deck mounted. We aired up our tires. Got them up to the proper PSI for each tire. Should look in your manual for your model to see what your pressure is. Okay, for your tires. We aired them up to the proper pressure. We kind of did an eyeball on the deck because on these things are pretty robust. If you can pretty much eye it, and the thing looks like it's a half inch off on one side or the other. If you can kind of look at it from the floor. Basically, what I do is I set it down on the ground, and if the right and left are basically the equal amount from the floor and the equal amount from front to back on the deck, I'm going to say that it's pretty much right. If I had one side that was up real high on one side versus the other, or cattywampus, I would have really looked harder.
Say that again.
Cattywampus. But anyway, I would have really looked harder at the deck and made sure my levels were right. We checked our wool levels, we checked our tire pressures, we've changed the plugs. Come here. Show you the plug. Plugs that came out of this, I know they're black, but they would have kept going. Really, what you look for is you're looking for missing material on these. Missing material, or as if there's buildup of gunk, which they're black, but they're not. There's no gunk buildup. There's no, there's no missing pieces out of it. I would say that these plugs weren't too bad. They probably could. It didn't hurt changing them. It's always good to change your plugs once a year. It just keeps you from having an issue. Let's see here. When you put the deck back on, use some 2x4s under the deck. You put the deck, slide it up underneath the mower. Go ahead and hook your belt up to your motor. Put the deck up on wood, okay? Or I guess you put the deck on wood first and then hook it up to the motor, okay? Then get the front bracket, then do your sides, okay? That's how you do that. Once you've got it all plugged in, you shouldn't have no issues from there. And this is the opposite when you take it apart. I think that's it. She runs and drives great. She's mowing great. I think we've got it accomplished from this one.